Welcome back to realvacantland.com. This is Luke Smith, and I've got another property for you. This one is in San Diego County. This is not too far from where I live, maybe an hour's drive or so. And I went out to look at this one. This is an actual picture of the property, and there's a street over here, and kind of a trail that comes up this way, and you could sit on this hill, and you could have this whole valley basically to yourself. You could probably shoot your guns there, and I don't think anyone would care. You're not right up in your neighbor's business, and yet there's a power line just down the way. So I think you could hook into the grid if you want to. You don't have to, and enjoy a piece of nature in San Diego County. So let's take a look at this one, and I'll show you more about it. Let's jump into the website, realvacantland.com. And so this is me. I'm up here with my name and number and stuff if you want to talk about the property. And so this particular property, I'm asking $54,000. And I've got another one like it, two properties over, a little further back off the road. I was asking $49,000. This one's just a couple $1,000s more, but it's closer to the road. So I've been working on the map. I'm proud of this map. We'll jump into pictures here soon, but if I show you the logic of it and then show you the pictures, I think it'll make more sense. So let's pull this map up. We'll blow this thing up here. Maybe I can do a little bit bigger dance on the screen. Here we go. Oh, my head's in the way. Let's do the weatherman dance, right? Let's see if I can move this over. Okay, so here's the property. So this is almost 5 acres. I believe it would be 5 acres, but it's reduced down to 4.3 because there's a 50-foot easement that goes around the property boundaries of the property. So technically, or what the county's calling it, is like 4.3 something acres. And so that 50-foot easement that goes around this property also goes around the neighboring properties to the north. This is government land up here along the road, but there's an easement that goes along either side of it or all the way around it. And so that 50-foot easement goes through the government land, and it goes through I think there's 2 private individuals here that own this similar sized properties before it gets to this property. So there's a fence line that runs along this border. And so this chunk of land over here was a big ranch, right? And so they've got barbed wire fence going around that property. But if you come in and you park here at the road, which I'll give you GPS coordinates and stuff if you're going on a tour, but you go to this part of the road, there's a power line running along this road, and I just parked on the side of the road. And if you see the difference in color here, it's because they had the bush clipped back once upon a time, probably fire danger. Right now it's been raining and it's grown in pretty good deal thicker. But you clip some bush through here to get back to the property, right along the fence line. So this boundary is the easiest to find because of the fence line. And so you go to this property. The other way you could do it is there's a neighboring house here, and they've got a driveway that comes off the main road that's going up one of those easements. And then the easement would continue through their property and over to your new property here. Another way you could do it, there's a lot of ways. This is just some examples, but there's a bunch of borders to 50-foot easements along the borders. So if I get my head out of the way, I put I made a line here. This is an easement too. So you don't actually own this land, but you have an easement. You can go build a driveway, public ingress, egress. You could dynamite the thing and pour concrete. Like they can't stop you. It's your easement. They might jump up and down and stuff, maybe be nice to them, but it's your easement to go through here. So it goes out to this road, and there's a dirt road over here. You could access it from this corner and go in this way. There's lots of other routes you could go to, but looking at the topography, I think this route makes the most sense going through here. This gets a little bit hillier over here, and you could do it, and I think it'd be a great house pad up on this part of the property, looking out in both directions, that way and that way. But if you had it on this side of the property, I think you'd be more privacy, and be looking at sunsets that way and sunrises that way, right? So there we go. So keep that in mind. There's the map. There's the layout of where the easements are on this thing, and you can go on the website. If you go to the link in this description, the description of this video, you can go and you can play with this map, and you can look at it. You can click on it and get GPS coordinates and stuff too. Or you can do 3D. You can hit the button down in the bottom left corner Let's do that. Let's see how that works. Let's see if we can get it to go 3D. The map lines won't still be on there, but you'll get an idea. So it's right in here. And if we go 3D, you see how the easement over here, oh, my head's in the way again. Let's move my head out of the way. So this part, this little road that follows up next to this house here, and it would go up the hill a little bit, and then you could put a house in here, or down, there's a bunch of areas here. But there's a little bit of a hill, so you could sit up high and look around. There's some rocks here and there on the property too. Give it a little character, a little bit more going for it than just a flat, boring piece of land. So if you look at it from this distance, I don't think that rock is in the property. It might be the corner of the property or so. And if you look at it down here, you see this is the fence line. So the fence line is running. It's this smaller line here is the fence line. I parked in here and hiked back the fence line, went up, looked at the property, and then the other ones behind it, I looked at the property behind it too. And then way down south there, it would be Mexico. And then, let's see, I'll give you a tour while we're here. Over here is Lake Marina Village would be over here. You can see the houses over there. And then Lake Marina is hiding in these, well, I got the wrong value. There's Marina Village over there. There's Lake Marina off in the distance. I don't think you can see Lake Marina from the actual property. It was a little cloudy when I was there. Maybe you can. I think there's a little bits of hills in the way. But you get this whole valley and the mountains off in the distance in numerous directions. It's beautiful. The flowers are really going off when I was there too. So let's look at some of the pictures I took. This is just on my phone kind of pictures. So here's a view northward, looking out. This is what I called Marina Village, but it's actually over the next hill is the Marina Village. Here's some rocks. Some of these pictures are from the neighboring property, but it gives you an idea. This is way south. There's a big power line way down south from the property. It's not going to be close to the property, the major power line. Here's the neighbor I was talking about. You could theoretically use their driveway to come up through here. You probably want to talk to them before you go barreling through there, though. Keep neighborly conduct going on, right? But you could extend out past their property into your property. There's just a bunch of pictures on the website, different ways to look at it. Some 3D diagrams created, more maps, where the lot lines are, where the town is, where the streets are in the area. Cameron Truck Trail is the road to the north. Lake Marina, Marina Village is over here. There's Lake Marina Mutual Water Company. These houses in the area all figured out water. I'm sure you can figure out water too. And the power line runs along that road. Here's just some other pictures. Here's a diagram of 50-foot road easements around each one of these properties in the area has a 50-foot easement. Here's the road leading up to the property. So it's a dirt road. I mean, it was well taken care of. I mean, it's not like a freeway, but it's your classic dirt road. When I was there, it's easy to drive on. It wasn't washed out. It wasn't washboard. It wasn't potholes, and it was raining out too. So it was really easy to use that road. And just up the hill here, it turns pavement. So it's maybe a third of a mile or half a mile away. I'm guessing, I didn't measure it, before it gets to actual pavement. So here's the corner. There's a corner marker here. This corner marker's got yellow or pink on the pin, and it's right by the corner of the barbed wire. And I got a picture of that somewhere in here too, the marker. But I just walked along that corner marker out to the property, which is this, back here. There's a corner marker for the area. So if somebody wanted to survey, this would be a good starting point to go off of. Property corner. So that's the corner of the neighbor's property, not the actual property I've got up for sale. Mine's one or three properties back. So here's the barbed wire fence, and this is the kind of bush you're walking through to get back there. It's kind of waist deep stuff. Wouldn't take much work to clear a path through those kinds of bushes. Be able to hike easier or drive back there. I mean, if you had a burly enough truck and you didn't care about the paint job, you could just drive over that stuff. There's a bunch of flowers were going off, and There's some rocks as you get back in there. I think it just gives it more character. So this was one of the funkiest spots. I think this is like some of the most rocks you run into. Now, if you're trying to build a driveway through here, you could probably move some of the chunks out of the way and put some gravel over the top of it, and you probably drive right over it. So this is the kind of bush that's in the area. Some more flowers. Looking around. I thought that was kind of interesting the way the fence was. So yeah, just pictures out over the area. You can go to the website by clicking the link below and looking at a bunch of these pictures of the property. Okay, so I'm asking $54,000 for this one. I've got to buy it now. I don't think that's actually set up. Oh, okay, it's set up for $500 down payment. So in these bigger dollar properties, I don't want to run it through a credit card. It's too risky for me to accept that kind of money via credit card. And so I'd like to use a title shop and use an escrow shop. And we've got one that just did the paperwork on this with title insurance. We can roll the title insurance over and get title insurance on it. It's easy to do some paperwork. If we could split the cost of that, that'd be great. It'd probably be $700 each, roughly. So 4.35 acres, what the county's calling it. So there's GPS coordinates in the ad here, in the listing. If you click on that in your phone, you get driving directions of the property. If you click on it in the computer, you get a map, another interactive map you can play with on Google Maps to zoom in, see where it's at. These GPS coordinates should take you to the center of the property. It shows the Marina Village, and it shows the lake over here, and it shows the Freeway 8 just up the way. I turned off the 8 and went down this road to the property. It was pretty easy to get there, pretty easy directions, pretty friendly area. No gates or fences or anything to keep you out. Got a bunch of GPS coordinates of the corners, where the property's at, legal description of the property, elevation's about 3,200 foot. It's zoned for single family residents. Taxes are a little over $200 a year. And yeah, there's a local post office and some pictures of the school and a hospital, and I don't know what that is. It's a restaurant, more post office, park, but yeah, so there's the park, and it's a nice looking property that I have. I'm proud of this property in San Diego County. So this is San Diego County, California, and I'll just show this funky shape back on the screen. So it's basically a 5-acre property, less of 50-foot easements around the side. So 4.35 acres and easements out to the streets numerous ways. So you can make a nice long driveway back into your property and have it to yourself without the neighbors right up in your business. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in this one, click the link down below. It'll take you to ruralvacantland.com, where you can learn more about this property. And go take a look at it. Feel free to tour anytime. Feel free to call, ask questions. I'll try to help you out best I can. Thank you. Talk to you again later. Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com.